Hi guys, Chris here, doing a video for other Chris's Facebook group because he asked me to do an ICW predictions video. So, he's not able to get to that many ICW shows, I don't think. So I figured I would do it. If you guys like it, I'll do a reactions video to the event coming up this Sunday, which is Barramania. I've been to every single one of the Barramanias, and they're always really good shows. There's usually a return, there's usually a big kind of blow-off match. So yeah, the end of this match should hopefully build up to Shugs. Shugs should build up to Fear and Loathing. Fear and Loathing's the end of the big blow-off matches. So we'll just get started. I've made some notes, so if I look down a lot, it's just because I'm looking at my notes. I haven't made many, but I've made some. First match we're going to go with is the 0G Scramble match. Obviously had to get made as a result of the controversial ending with the triple threat, where members of Legion kidnapped BT Gunn, and by the time he'd kicked fuck at them and came back to the ring, it was a no contest 0G championship. Mark Dallas had taken it away, and it had been, vacated. So it's another championship win for Vacant. Anyone that follows WWE Vacant on Twitter. So what we ended up with was going to be a championship gauntlet match. First two competitors announced was Matt Coffey and Jody Fleisch. Sadly, found out a few days ago, Jody Fleisch believes injured, won't be able to make it. But it was actually at Simon Cassidy's Windfall live podcast session that we found out that DCT and Andy Wild are going to be in that match. And the pop, sorry for using an insider term, but the pop when Andy Wild was announced was massive. I was in a room with 80 people and it was still a very big reaction. Let's go Wild boys. Andy Wild's massively underused in ICW in my opinion. Every time they call on him, he knocks it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. So we don't know much in terms of the rest of the competitors, to be honest. Mark Coffey, DCT, Andy Wild, it leaves 3 other spaces. So I personally feel Mark, if given a shot, 0G championship reign, because I feel that Mark should be in the championship, heavyweight championship title picture. The guy's amazing, top his game in every way, and I personally feel that what he really needs is to be fighting for the big belt. He'll take the 0G championship and he will make it the big belt, because that's how good a competitor the man is. In terms of, could there be some surprises for extra people? Probably. Is there a good chance that it'll just end up being, Kid Fight, Davey Blaze, and I don't know, Looking Sharp? Maybe. But do you know what? All those guys, not to take anything away from those guys, all of those guys capable of a good match. I've got a funny feeling DCT probably doesn't want to wrestle Davey Blaze again, because, they spent most of last year doing that. But, we'll see what happens. My pick, on the information we have available, is that it's going to be probably come down to Andy Wild and Mark Coffey. 2 big men, 2 big powerful men, 2 powerhouses. But power forward's got it for me. Mark Coffey, I think, will be the man that wins that one. So my notes don't have the matches in any particular order. So what I'm going to go for after that is Tor Atterhagen and Wolfgang. I'm a big Wolfgang fan. I've always been a big Wolfgang fan. But the build to it has been weird. The build to it has been very, very odd. It's been Tor turning up and just decimating people. I think Wolfgang will take this as an opportunity to put over the kind of new guy, because Wolfgang does not need the momentum, doesn't need the push. With his other commitments, his WWE commitments, I don't know they're necessarily going to put a belt on him. Because at any moment he can pretty much get called to WWE. So if he's booked in for Fear and Loathing to defend the belt, but Vince McMahon needs him for, I think, Survivor Series is the same night, then he needs to go to Survivor Series. So I don't think logistically it would make any sense for them to do that, as much as the guy also deserves a run at the belt. So I'm going to say Tor Atterhagen, probably butchering that pronunciation even. I'm going to say he's most probably going to win that one. So we also have the longest match in pro wrestling history. Started at the night after the Square Go. At the Square Go, night after the Fight Club after the Square Go. Falls Count Anywhere. I personally feel it should have been a buried alive match, as that would have been amazing. But yeah, again, logistically, as Joe Hendry pointed out, a bit of a nightmare. I can see with Joe's other accomplishments in the Commonwealth Games, even just going to the Commonwealth Games brings a lot of legitimacy to Joe as an athlete. But I do, to be honest, believe that this match is going to go Chris Renfrew's way. I believe it's going to go Chris Renfrew's way through one of two reasons: shenanigans. Either Kieran Kelly and him seem to have a bit of a bromance on the go now. It's been an awful long time together. So I think either he'll refuse if Joe is going for the pin. I think Kieran may refuse to go for the free count. Or Leighton Buzzard has maybe warmed to Chris Renfrew and maybe feels bad that he tried to poison him, because this storyline has got fucking weird. So maybe he'll turn on Joe Hendry. Maybe he feels like Joe isn't appreciating him. Maybe he feels that Joe should have took him to Australia. Whatever. But I'm going to go for Renfrew winning that one. No doubt it'll please all the NAK fans, of which I include myself. What other match should we go for? The Bram, Easton Reese, Rudo versus James Storm, Ravy Davey. James Storm to me seems like a really weird add-on. I'm sure, because Square Go, he was brilliant. He had a very, very, very good world title match, and I think the ICW fans have kind of adopted him now. The thing about ICW, you can come in as an import, but if you prove that you are good enough to the ICW standard, if you prove that you're, one of the boys, if you prove that you're, capable of taking the hard bumps, ICW 100% open you. 100% welcome you with open arms. ICW fan base will really get behind you. Done that with Jody Fleisch. They've done that with, to a lesser extent, in the early days with Shah Samuels. Shah Samuels is basically an honorary Scot at this stage. Jody Fleisch is on his way. I think there is a good chance what's going to happen here, though, because the James Storm wanting to, kick Red's cunting seems really odd to me. So I'm a bit of a smark. I like to, suspension of disbelief in the events, I like to just take the story with the way that it's intended, the way it's been presented to me. I try my hardest to take it that way. But in the time in between events, you see little things and you kind of think about it. And I kind of look for, well, why would that happen? Try and figure out the story before the story is presented to me. What I think is distinctly possible is that James Storm is going to join Rudo, and then it'll be all three of them and Rudo versus Ravy Davey, and I think that perfectly sets you up for if it's going to happen at any point in the next wee while. I think it sets you up perfectly for Grado to return, get his own back on Rudo, and with all the stuff that Red Lightning has been saying to Ravy Davey, saying he's a joke, saying he's not a wrestler, saying he's a fan, saying he's a fan, That's all the stuff that Red Lightning said to Grado in Grado's early days. Get Grado booked, Grado jumping the barrier. That's all stuff that Ravy Davey's done. Ravy Davey used to just be a fan. Ravy Davey would be the front row, of ICW shows. Ravy Davey, even after he started training, would be sneaking into venues, would be, asking the crowds what matches they were looking forward to on video, stuff like that. So I think, Grado, Ravy Davey. Because of that, I do believe Ravy Davey's probably going to lose after James Storm turns on him, if that happens. And Grado will save the day. Hopefully, he comes out to Madonna, but with the rights, it's probably not that likely. And he'll probably just come out to, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. So we'll see what happens there. Next, we'll go for Kenny Williams, Stevie Boy. Now, I am a massive Filthy Generation fan. I am a massive Stevie Boy fan. I loved to hate him, and now I love to love him. Everything that every member of the Filthy Generation do right now, I think, is perfect. I wish that they had something that they could give Kaylee Ray, because that would be better as far as I'm concerned. Kaylee Ray is the best. Kaylee Ray looked 100% complete package when she was in the Mae Young Classic. She looked amazing. She looked better than anyone else that was on it. In every match she put her in, she's amazing. Lewis Girvin, Aspen Faith, Kings of Catch. The pair of them are brilliant. They're basically Scotland's version of the Young Bucks, in my opinion, or at least they have the capacity to be, if booked correctly. And Stevie Boy, as the leader of the Filthy Generation, is fucking killing it. Now, I don't believe for a second that they would have Stevie be King of Insanity and then have him win the square go to take that briefcase off him 3 months later. It doesn't make any sense. So, I think we're probably looking at Kenny Williams losing his contract, at least in the short term. I have a theory that maybe that's because he's been signed. I think if anyone is already, ready to go, as far as for like the likes of WWE, Kenny Williams is probably it. The guy can move, the guy can talk. He's an amazing looking guy. He's built like a very slim tank, but a tank nonetheless. Just CrossFit, absolute icon in that regard. And I think you put that guy in WWE, slot him into NXT, slot him into 205 Live, and he's ready to go. Teach him WWE style, let him use his European style, put him in a match with any of the guys in 205 Live, and I think, match of the show. Because Kenny's brilliant. So I'm going to say Stevie Boy. That is the mark in me slightly, saying Stevie Boy, because I want the guy to be able to cash in, and I want to see Stevie Boy versus either one of the two guys in the ICW Championship match. I want to see him fight. The guy is capable of having great matches with either BT Gunn or Mike Whiplash, and I want to see it, to be honest. So we'll move on. Sorry, that was my work radio. I'm having to film this in work because I've got a very busy weekend, and then I'm obviously at the show tomorrow. So we'll move on to Kinky Party. This was originally supposed to be a triple threat tag match. Sorry, a four-way tag match. This was originally supposed to be the Kinky Party versus the Kings of Catch versus the Purge versus the Sons of Ulade. And I seen a video earlier, Rory saying that Bass was gone. It's a really creepy video. I suggest you look it up. I don't know what that means for this match, but I'll go on what I originally thought this was going to happen in this. I think the Purge and the Sons of Ulade are going to take each other out, and then I think that gives you Kinky Party versus Kings of Catch. And with that, I think Kinky Party have only just won a belt. They couldn't possibly be more over with the fans, I don't think. So I think unless they're planning on breaking them up, I don't think they're going to lose the belts anytime soon. I think at least until the next big show, they're going to be on the winning the belts. So Jackie Polo Lionheart. Now this is probably the most personal rivalry or feud, to use wrestling terminologies. I think this is probably the most personal out of the lot. These guys seem to genuinely hate each other. Lionheart's a fanny. Lionheart's open about the fact he's a fanny. Jackie Polo comes across like a bit of a prick. Jackie Polo comes across like a bit of a prick because Jackie Polo wants to come across like a bit of a prick. These are two guys, neither one of them your traditional face, neither one of them your traditional heel. We've got two tweeners, for lack of a better expression. But I think with this match, this is the only match I don't know who's going to win. Really, I don't think I know who's going to win. Jackie Polo has stated that he's retired. He wants to spend time with his wife, pretty sure her name's Michelle, and Jackie Jr. and enjoy his retirement. Cool. Lionheart, I think, is another one of the guys you could put in the main event scene, and he's going to carry your belt, he's going to carry your brand, and you're going to be absolutely fine. That being said, I genuinely don't know which way this is going to go. My instinct is that it's going to be Lionheart wins. Lionheart probably wins through heel tactics, nefarious means. If Lionheart wins, I honestly believe that as in the Newcastle show, which was supposed to be called Jimmy Nail's Revenge 2, but as Jimmy Nail's a cunt, and he got his lawyers involved because he's a fucking prick, they had to change the name of it just to a regular ICW Fight Club. So, at that show, Lionheart, after saying he does what he wants when he wants, decided to rock bottom Mark Dallas. Now, Dallas isn't going to let that go. There's no way Dallas will let that go. So I can see Lionheart being punished some way, not necessarily fired, but punished, whether he wins or not. But I do think he is probably going to win. So, let's see, just make sure I've not missed any of these matches. Nope, got it. Going to go for, this is what I think the first half main event will be in the show. Now the show, when it's broadcast, won't be broadcast in that way, but this I think will be the main event before the interval. And I think it could potentially be one of the best matches on the card. And it's the women's title match. Soon, if Viper gets her way, which she probably will, soon to be women's world belt. And I hope she gets it. I really do. You see women's revolution, women's evolution. If anyone personifies that to me, it's Viper. Viper, you put her in a match with the guys, she'll kick their cunt in. You put her in a match with the girls, she'll kick their cunt in. If she's the good guy, the face, she's amazing. Smiley, all the kids love her, all the fans love her. And if she's the heel, people can legitimately hate her. And she can come across like a bully in matches. If she's the heel, absolutely. She's very believable as a threat to, as I say, to men and women. Casey Owens has a very valid point in that she does seem to be the space saver for when the other girls, the other wrestlers, the other female wrestlers are away to Japan or America. They stick the belt on Casey. Casey has the belt when they're away because Casey is good at what she does. She's great at what she does. She's got a lot better since I started knowing really who she was, since Fierce Females stuff and all that. She's really, really good. She's brilliant. I personally believe, though, that Viper is on the run of her life. I believe that her promo in Newcastle was probably the most honest. I'm a total mark. It's probably the most honest I've ever seen any wrestler be in the ring. And it's the first time. I said definitely in ICW, but the first time since probably Daniel Bryan retired that I've cried at wrestling. Obviously, that was a kind of moot point now that he's back, but I was devastated. Daniel Bryan was my favourite wrestler. Daniel Bryan's still my favourite wrestler. Viper's promo caught me by surprise. I was expecting it to be an angry, fuck you, Casey, you're not getting my belt. And it was. But it was also her definition of insanity. And if you haven't seen that, go on to ICW's YouTube or Facebook and you'll see it. It doesn't take long to find. But if you're not aware who Viper is, if you haven't seen Viper, she is the fucking best at what she does at the moment. So I think Viper's winning it. And I think Viper, before the end of the year, will do what she wants to do. She'll have her world belt. And I hope she does. And I think that just leaves us with the main event. Now, a main event death match. I could not be more excited for this match. The last death match at the garage, I was in the second row and was covered head to toe in glass. Absolutely covered head to toe in glass. That there is the leftover mark from a bit of glass hitting me square in the head. Newcastle, I jokingly took safety goggles. Thankfully, there was no glass. But it's not an exaggeration to say that these matches deserve the moniker that they've got. These matches are terrifying. These matches could potentially lead to someday. We never want wrestlers to get seriously injured. You need to get injured as part of doing what they do. But we want them to take as many steps as possible to be as safe as possible, but to make it look as if they're in danger. This match, I am excited for it, but I'm worried because I believe that both these guys have got something to prove, and I believe that both these guys are going to try and outdo each other, and that is very exciting as a fan, but also very terrifying. So I hope that everything is safe as safe can be, and as much as I'm an NAK fan, as much as I'm a BT Gunn fan, Mikey Whiplash in a death match, I don't believe anyone's beaten that. I really don't. Mikey Whiplash, since coming back to ICW, has killed it. The stuff we ran through, it was cool for a bit, and it started to get boring to me. Because Mikey Whiplash is enough by himself, in my opinion. Jokey is a nice addition, but I don't think she adds a lot. Largely because she's brilliant, and I've seen her do matches in GPWA. She's really good, and I wish that they would let her fight a little bit more. But coming out as almost like a manager, like an escort for Mikey Whiplash, that's fine. It's okay. But I don't believe Mikey Whiplash needs it. I believe that Mikey is going to do everything in his power. Everything in his terrifying power. He's going to push the boundaries. And the idea of Mikey Whiplash and BT Gunn pushing each other